All right, so good morning again. We will start on our backs this morning so you can find your way to a comfortable reclined position on your mat. Um, you can have your legs extended out long. You could have your knees bent and feet grounded. Soles of the feet together, knees apart, our recline bound angle. Heart opening, palms face up, or again, any position that you find some comfort and warmth today. Warmth is going to kind of be our theme. I got my inspiration for class ideas today when I noticed that last evening, Laura posted a picture of me on Facebook that was taken in my backyard, obviously in the summertime, beautiful green grass and trees, and I'm warm, I'm in a tank top, and thought, okay, that mindset would do us well this morning, so we can let go of some of this ice and cold and just bring some warmth into our hearts. So again, get comfortable, get relaxed, and take a nice deep breath in through the nose, filling up with fresh air. And just sigh it out. Just let go of stress, any thoughts that are distracting you. And we'll just do, as we do our pranayama, our settling into some breath, do a little guided imagery. So I do sometimes in the summer sort of a beach theme class, and I'm not going to impose my happy place, the beach, on you. I'll just ask you to think of someplace on the warmer side than what we have today here that that you enjoy, that's kind of your happy place. So that warm place could be in your living room by a fire and cuddled up with a cup of tea and a blanket around you. Or it could be lakeside or poolside or at the beach or at the mountains or whatever comes to mind again to you for a warm place in your heart and in your body. So start to breathe in that warmth. If you haven't closed your eyes already, close them and envision this place. And just notice how your body feels as you settle into, whether it be a blanket or a beach towel or a chair or a sofa or whatever support you imagine beneath you to make you comfortable and warm. And maybe we think about a nice blue sky above with a warm sun shining down on us. There could be a few clouds floating by where we just sort of send our thoughts and let them drift away. And maybe there's just a gentle warm breeze. You could feel that on your skin. Maybe you notice birds singing, or notice other sounds that might be in your warm place. Maybe we call to mind that little mantra that I like: sky above me, earth beneath me, and peace, or maybe we'll say warmth within me. So slowly deepening and lengthening our breaths. Sky above me, earth beneath me, warmth within me. So that warmth can be the physical temperature thing, or it could just be a feeling of warmth and compassion. So just sort of bring that into your heart, maybe even placing your hands on your heart space as you breathe in warmth and compassion. Nice, slow, deep inhale, filling up, and then letting go of some of that compassion and warmth into the world around you. So let's begin to move. Maybe after we've been settled for a while, we need a nice stretch. So you could bring your arms up overhead. You could stretch your legs out long, especially if they were bent. And just kind of open up those fingers like little sun rays, and toes as well, and squeeze in. Open, close, maybe even make little circles with your wrists and ankles. Good, and then let's hug our knees into the chest. So if you have any props beneath you, it might be a good time to just sort of cast them off to one side. So giving yourself a nice little hug, a little warm snuggle and rock side to side. Good. And then from here, lengthen out your left leg all the way down to the floor. And we'll keep the right knee tucked in, nice and close. And again, if you haven't already, maybe circle out the ankle a few times, just warming up that joint. And draw a few the opposite way. Then we'll come into a little hip opener. So take your right hand and guide your right knee out to the side and down towards the floor. Maybe your foot touches down to the floor. Maybe it just kind of is suspended there. So you support or bring some support beneath your leg if that feels better. But just get a nice opening here, breathing into that space. Another nice full breath. Good, and then let's bring our knee back through center and sort of do a little swap with our hands. Take your left hand and guide your right knee over into a twist towards the left side. And then open out your right arm with palm face up, your shoulder blade melting back towards the mat. And breathe. Alrighty, guiding yourself back to center. Let your left knee come up and meet the right. Another little squeeze. And then lengthen out your right leg all the way down to the floor. Start circling out your left ankle, making little circles one direction. And flip that big toe around and go the opposite way. Getting all the little crinkles out of that joint. And now we can start opening out the left knee and hip. So guide your knee out with your left hand towards the left side. And take some nice breaths here. All right, make your way back through center with that left knee, and then use your right hand to guide across towards the right. And open out your left arm back and down on your mat. Sunny side up with your palm and breathe into that space. When you're ready, start to come back to center. And we'll be kind of curled up in a ball again with both knees up. You can rock side to side a little bit. And we're going to make our way up to seated. So taking your time, you can rock forward and back, or you can bring your knees over to one side and come on up to seated, up to our Sukhasana. So I'm grabbing my blanket to place beneath sitting bones. You're welcome to do that as well, or just find your connection with some support, either your mat or your beach blanket or whatever it be, beneath those sitting bones, and allow your knees to just relax out. And palms can rest on top of your knees. Let your shoulders relax. And just close your eyes again here and picture that warm place. So root down into the earth or whatever's beneath you in your mind's eye. And then as you breathe, lengthen up all the way through the spine to the crown of the head. If you're outside, just again extending up towards our bright sunshine above. Let's inhale our shoulders up towards our ears and relax them back and down. So a few rolls, opening up the neck and shoulders. Good. Nice. All right, we'll bring our fingertips alongside of us on the floor. And inhale, bring arms up overhead. Nice big sunrise. And then let our fingertips float back down alongside. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, just your right arm down to the mat. Lengthen up through the left fingertips and take a little hinge towards your right. Stay here for a breath, maybe letting that shoulder come back a bit more so you could look up towards the sunlight. And then come back to center, both arms lift, and let your left arm float down. Once again, we lengthen first with a big breath in, and as we exhale, then we take our hinge to the left side. I'm going to tilt my head up again, just get another peek at that sunshine. Good, come on up to center, both arms lift, big breath in. Now we take a twist to the right, so belly, ribs, upper chest turn, and your hands float down. So left hand over to the right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, stay where you are or twist a little deeper if that feels okay. Another breath here. All right, let's sweep that right arm from behind and come all the way across and let it land on your left shoulder. Bring your left hand to your right shoulder and give yourself a nice warm hug here. Feeling that back body open up as we inhale and squeezing on our exhale. And from here, if you'd like, you could come up to eagle arms. So either the back of the hands meet or maybe palm meets palm with wrapping all the way around if you can, or stay at your shoulders if that feels better. We'll breathe here, a little opening into the back body. And then if you have your fingers pointed upward, we'll reach towards the sky. So maybe just the elbows float up if there's hands are on your shoulders, but then we'll take a little dip forward and down. Draw your belly in towards your spine as you do so. Inhale, come back slowly. We'll release, reach our arms up to the sky, and then exhale into a twist towards the left side. Let's inhale here, get taller. Exhale, twist. Another breath here, just going as far in your twist as feels comfortable on your back. All right, now let's let our left hand go for a big sweep across the sky. Land on right shoulder, right hand comes to left. And once again, we give ourselves a warm hug. And eagle arms, if you choose, on this side, wrapping around. Again, breathe first into that back body. We open up a little bit in this pose in the back, and then we'll inhale, lift, elbows and or fingers towards the sky and dip on down towards our mat. All right, come on back up, open arms, sweep them out, and down to the ground. All right, let's make our way to tabletop. So come on to hands and knees. If you like a little padding underneath, you could unfold your blanket if you had it there and give yourself a little extra layer under your knees. All right, so let's make sure we line up first with our shoulders over wrists, our hips over top of our knees, and the tops of our feet just kind of melting down into the mat there. All right, neutral spine to begin with. And take a breath here, feeling the earth beneath you, sort of connecting into that space. And then take your left leg and just slide it along the mat, keeping contact with our toes or the ball of the foot, and press your heel back. So getting a little heel cord stretch here. Feeling that up the whole back of the leg. Another breath. And then lift your foot up so that you come to about hip height. Get steady here. And if you like, you can reach your right arm forward into spinal balance. So palm faces in, thumb is up towards the sun. And we lengthen out through those fingertips and back through the heel. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower your hand down and bring your foot back down, but we're going to keep the knee straight. So we come back to where we started with that heel cord stretch. From here, we're going to angle our right foot out. So that little kickstand move, bring our foot out, turn towards the left. So our left foot comes down flat and raise your left arm up. So a side kneeling plank here. Big breath here. And then bring your left hand to the back of your head. So now just their elbows pointing up towards the sun. We're going to inhale, lift up and back. Exhale, bring your elbow down towards your right arm. Okay, so a little twist action here. We'll flow, inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Keep flowing. All right, once we're back up with elbow towards the sky, you can lift your arm once again and then come down. We'll reconnect back towards center and just come into child's or puppy for a little break in between sides. Full breath here, lengthening out through the back, and then come back up to table. I'm going to turn around just so I can be facing towards the camera. You don't need to turn. All right, so let's take our right leg and extend that back. And we start with a little heel cord stretch, so press your heel away. And then shift forward, we'll lift that foot so we're at hip height. And once you're steady, extend your left arm forward and up. Again, thumb pointed up towards the sky, pinky down towards earth. Breathe and lengthen. Bring your left hand down. We'll drop our foot down and then start into that side position. So kickstand first, the left foot out. And roll towards your right side, lifting right arm up. Your right foot should be flat down on the mat now. And didn't offer this on the other side, but if you wanted to do a little balance, you could lift up that right leg and breathe here. All right, lower that foot. If you lifted, we'll bend our elbow and place the right hand at the back of your head. And then inhale, open the elbow up. Exhale, take a twist forward and down. So here's our flow, nice and slow up. Using that belly, we kind of tighten our belly in towards the spine as we twist forward. Come on back up. Then you can reach up to the sky once more with your right arm. And come back to table. All right, from here, go back down into a child's pose or puppy with the hips lifted a bit, but just let your arms relax. Another breath. And then we're going to inhale and come forward into a kneeling plank. So allow your hips to be in front of your knees, but your shoulders are going to line up over your wrists. Draw your belly button in towards the spine and lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, come into a baby cobra. So just that little upper back lift, drawing your shoulder blades together, keeping your gaze down towards the front end of your mat. Breathe here and lower to the floor. Big breath in. Inhale, baby cobra. Using your arms now, press up to a fuller cobra. And we'll pause there. And if that's too much of a back bend at this point in practice, lower a little bit more. Okay? Take a breath here, and then come all the way back to extended child again, or puppy. Let's take a flow between these two poses. So inhale to kneeling plank. Exhale, come straight back to child. You can stay with that flow between those two poses, or when you come up, maybe add a little half push-up. Not returning the whole way to the ground, but just a half, with a little strengthening aspect here. It's up to you. Take one more of either version of that flow and come back to child's or puppy. Breathe here. And then start to bring your hips up. We'll tuck our toes and come up to downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, start to pedal out your feet, pressing one heel back and then the other, bending your knee, lifting your tailbone. Good. Bend both knees, so come into a little bit of a crouch, and then slowly work on straightening your knees, but not compromising through the spine. So keep your spine long, pressing your hands forward energetically. You're not moving. And take a breath. All right, when you're ready, start to walk your feet forward. We'll come to a forward fold. And then inhale to our halfway lift. So flat back, crown of the head forward, tailbone back. And breathe here. Exhale, fold, allow your knees to bend, soften a little bit. Inhale once again to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees even more. We're going to let those hips sink back, arms come forward into chair pose. Think about that rooting down through your feet. And then press through your legs, reach up to the sky, tall mountain. And exhale to mountain. All right. So move around a little bit. And then we'll establish a nice firm foundation in mountain pose. And let's take a full sun A. Once you're ready, I see some people taking drinks and moving. So just to get a nice full flow in, that's a good warming up the body flow. So start in mountain. We'll inhale to tall mountain. Swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. All right, we'll drop knees, unless it's in your practice not to, but dropping down, lower all the way to a belly. Inhale up through cobra. Come back onto your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. Look towards your hands, bring those feet forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend knees slightly, reverse swan. We'll reach out and up, lead with our heart. Tall mountain, and exhale to mountain. All right, sweep up. Once again, tall mountain. This time take a twist towards your left. Let your right arm float forward, left arm back. Inhale, your palms face up. Exhale them down. Inhale up. And then come forward, reaching up to the sky, tall mountain, and sweep out towards your right side. Inhale, your palms face up. Exhale, they turn down. Inhale up towards the sun, and then reaching to tall mountain. Let's swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, reverse swan, rise up. Tall mountain. Exhale to mountain. Take a breath. All righty. So again, rooting down through both feet. We'll wave our toes a little bit, reaching them up and letting our four corners of the feet establish a good contact with our mat. Excuse me, and then let them settle back down. Energize up through your thighs. Draw your belly in. We'll roll shoulders up and away. And extend the crown of the head to the sky. Breathe here in your tall, actually firm mountain pose. Good. All right, now come up to tall mountain. As we exhale, we'll come into chair pose. So bring your arms around and forward. Good. And then come to heart center. All right, keep in this nice bend at the hips and knees. Draw your belly in towards the spine. Tailbone down. Again, root through those feet. Let's flow here between chair pose at heart center and mountain pose with cactus arms. Let's open up a bit. Exhale back to chair. We'll keep this flow nice and slow. Inhale to open. Exhale, squeeze that belly in, come back into chair. One more time, open up. Come to chair, and we'll stay a while. Not our comfiest chair, right? But again, we'll use our imagery. We're in a beach chair, whatever. All right, let's float on down to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, hips go back, arms come forward, chair pose. And then to mountain. Everything should be warmed up by now, right? Excuse me, I'm going to grab a drink. Alrighty. So starting in mountain, let's come to heart center. We'll take a nice slow mindful step back into warrior one. So shift your weight first into your right foot, get nice and rooted, grounded there. Lift up your left knee and then ease that foot back and down, letting it land at about a 45-degree angle, right? Hips a little more forward facing, and arms can rise up, letting shoulders melt down, warrior one. All right, from here, let's bring our arms out, straight line like a T. And we're going to take our left arm and float it over the right one and come to our shoulders. All right, another little heartwarming hug here. And perhaps eagle arm. So take your version of arms at this point, and we'll take a flow here. So we'll inhale, bring our elbows and maybe hands up. Exhale, come down towards your right knee. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. Keep flowing with breath. Next time we're up, let's open our arms back to warrior one. And then for a little counter pose, we can open our heart by reaching behind into a bind or just lengthening out our arms behind us. And breathe here. All right, we'll open our arms up once again to warrior one, and then come right into warrior two from here. So we just move our back foot, come this way, to line up parallel with the back edge of our mat, then float our arms out and around to a T position. Okay, front foot's gonna stay directed to the front end of our mat, and we should have all found our way into warrior two. Breathe here. Let's bring our both palms up and then roll them back down. We'll roll them up again, and let's take a flow where we inhale, bring our arms up, let our right knee straighten. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Keep on flowing with your breath. One more, reaching up, coming back to warrior two. We still have our palms up. We can just let our left hand float down to our leg and come up with the right arm into radiant warrior. So get a nice opening along the right side of the body with this stretch. Good. Come back to warrior two. And then we'll float down to side angle, letting your right forearm rest and left arm reach to the sky. Big breath here. And come on back to warrior two. From here, let's take our arms in a little spiral and come down and frame out our right foot. Spin your left foot so you come into a lunge shape. Maybe blocks here, not a have to, but if you have them close by, you can put them under your hands in this lunge position. And some options here, stay steady and strong right where you are. You could reach your right arm forward. So left arm is back, right arm is forward, sort of like our spinal balance that we do on hands and knees. And come on back down with your arm. And then let's take a big step. We'll bring left foot up to meet right. Let your hips drop down, arms come forward into chair pose. Big breath here, and then reach to the sky. As we straighten our legs up and come back to mountain. All right. So we'll switch to the opposite side. All right, I'll start again facing forward. We'll come to mountain and maybe hands at heart center once again. Let's weight there more into our left foot. Get a little lighter on the right. Lift that foot up, and then we're going to take a big step back and finding our way into warrior one. All right, hips forward, arms can lift up, and let your shoulders soften, relax away from the ears. Big breaths here. And let your arms come out like a T, and then we'll bring right over left, come to your shoulders for a hug. A little warmth. And you can stay put, or you can come up to eagle arms on this side. And we'll take our flow. So inhale, your elbows and or hands reach to the sky, and exhale, bend forward and down towards that left knee this time. So flow with your breath, mindfully inhaling up and exhaling down. Next time we come up, we'll release the bind if we had it and reach back into warrior one, and then come into our heart opener, reaching behind, maybe binding, and let your heart shine forward. All right, come on back up to warrior one. And from here, we'll rotate right into warrior two, moving your right foot back into parallel with the short end of your mat. Left knee keeps that nice bend. We reach our arms out. Bring our hands with palms face up. And then flow. Inhale, straighten your left knee, reach your arms up. Exhale, come on back. Flowing with your breath. I might have done one extra, I'm not sure. And we'll finish up here. And let your right hand just come down to rest on your right leg and lift your left arm up to the sky. Radiant warrior. Big breath. Come back to warrior two, and then side angle, dropping your left forearm and reaching your right arm up. We try not to be too heavy into that little leaning post. Maybe even challenge yourself, see if you can lift up, lift forward, wrap your arm, or stay put lightly. All right, come on back to warrior two. We'll take our arms and spiral down, framing out our left foot and pivoting on the right foot. Again, maybe blocks, maybe just a nice long spine, pressing back through your heel, your right heel. And maybe if you want, lift your left arm up and forward. You could also airplane. Take a ride to somewhere warm if you like. All right, let's bring our hand down. This time we'll frame out the foot and we'll step our left foot back. So come back into downward facing dog and take a breath here. We'll shift forward to plank and drop our knees, untuck the toes, and take a little flow. More a little nice, warm, heat-inducing sun A. All right, we tuck our toes after that cobra and come back to downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Walk your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slight bend in the knees, we'll reverse swan, rising up to tall mountain. And exhale to your mountain pose. All right. Let's work on a little balance this morning. We need it whether we're in a warm, happy place or whether we're going to be dealing with ice later, right? Okay, we'll stay warm. Let's come to, let's start with tree. We'll envision we're somewhere where there's, you can picture whatever kind of blossoming, flowering tree or palm tree or whatever kind of tree you want to be this morning. Let's just root into our right foot as our sort of tree trunk and get lighter on the left. Maybe spin your knee, your left knee out towards the left to open the hip. You can find a little kickstand placement of your left heel. And then coming up to the inside lower leg or thigh, just not across the knee joint itself. And from here, if you're brave and want to close your eyes and picture your tree, but then that might be a little hard on the balance, right? Okay, so again, Extend branches or stay right where you are at heart center. Reach out. You take your tree journey in your warm, happy place wherever you want it to be. Making sure we breathe that nice, fresh, warm air. And then release that foot down and give your right leg a little love after weight bearing for a while on that side. And we'll take it to the opposite. So again, we establish roots through our right foot, connected to the earth, and possibly kickstand. And then again, find your place of balance. And if you need to come in and out, no worries. We all have different journeys for our entire practice, but especially balance, I think. So be warm and kind and compassionate to yourself as you create a tree. Our breath stays nice and smooth, flowing. And when we've decided it's time to come out of it, you do just that. All right, so we've done quite a bit with eagle arms, so I think it's appropriate to maybe do a little bird watching this morning too in our happy place. So we'll come into eagle. And once again, we'll start with right foot grounded. You know, you have the option of maybe putting a block to the outside of your, what's going to be our standing foot, just as our little perch as you come across, but again, not have to. We'll start maybe heart center, come into a little bit of a bend here, hips and knees, draw your belly in, get nice and stable. Weight to the right foot, lifting left foot up and over. Maybe balancing a little bit with your big toe on the floor, or if you have a little perch there. And then we'll bring our arms right over left to our warm hug or to eagle arm wrap. And again, that can be whatever you want it to be. And if you want to be adventurous and lift that left foot, those talons off of the branch, go right ahead and see how you do. Envision that gorgeous bird up in a tree. And when you're ready to let your eagle take flight, go ahead and do that. All right. So switching sides, I'm going to just slide my block over to the outside of the left foot and then get rooted and grounded through the left foot, maybe back to heart center. That seems to be a good grounding place, but again, if you have something different that you like, or if you want to start with your arms, by all means. Okay, so we're going to wake into the left foot, bend a little bit, allow that right leg to travel over and across to a perch or right down to the floor. Okay, and then we'll bring our arms left over right to shoulders. Warm hug here. And again, that's nice and stabilizing. If you want to just work on that, you can, or you can come to eagle arms. And then see about maybe coming to lift off the right foot, any support that you have beneath it. Not forgetting to breathe. And once again, take flight, let go. And just move around a little bit. Okay. When you're ready, we'll come down to hands and knees. So just take a little mini flow, forward fold, bend your knees to plant your hands. And then down onto your knees. And come up to kneeling then. Or take a flow if you wanted. All right. Inhale, arms up to tall mountain. Exhale, come into twist towards your left. Raise our palms up. Float them back down. And lift them up once again. Inhale, forward and up to the sky, tall mountain. And then twist to your right. Open your palms towards the sun. Float them down towards the earth. Back towards the sun. And then reaching to the sun, tall mountain. And come on down, hands to the ground. All right, we'll allow ourselves to come down to seated. And maybe a little windshield wiper before we lower all the way to our backs. So settle all the way down. And once you're there, let the soles of your feet come together and knees come apart into recline bound angle. Place one hand on your belly, one up to your heart. Reconnect with your breath. Reconnect to that warmth in your heart. Warmth flowing through your body now that we've moved virtually everything. All right, guide your legs back to towards each other, maybe hip distance apart, and plant your feet hip distance apart, walking your feet a little closer to your hips. So we'll set up for a bridge pose. So we like the feet a little closer to the hips to do that. And then we'll bring our hands into a position where fingertips are pointed towards the sky, palms facing each other, elbows connected down into the earth, feet rooted. And then on your next in-breath, lift your hips up, coming into your bridge. So using those points of contact to really, again, connect with the earth, feet, upper arms, as our body lifts up. And take some full breaths here. Inhale once again to lift. Exhale, bring your hips down. Let your knees touch each other, and you can kind of heel toe your feet out towards the edges of your mat. So steeple knee, and just stay there, or if you like to do a little windshield wiper move here, you can. Letting one knee drop in towards the opposite leg. If it feels good, you can reach your arms up overhead as you do that. Let's walk our feet sort of heel toe back together, hip distance, and then draw your knees up in towards your chest. So a little warm hug. Rocking side to side on your back. And then you're going to bring your arms out like a T. So palms can face up. And just slowly extend your legs straight up to the sky. And from here, I thought we'd take a little bike ride. I know when it gets warmer out, I really like to take a bike ride, whether it be at the beach or in our neighborhood. So just start to pedal. So we're bending our hips and knees and pressing one heel up towards the sky as the other leg bends. Just again, maybe closing your eyes, picturing a warm spring day. Good. And then a little brain teaser. See if you can reverse that. Oh, that's kind of hard. pedaling backwards. All right, extend both legs straight up, stretching them, heels towards the sky. And then you can lower your feet down to the mat and breathe. And then we're going to take a sort of a double knee twist. So you can go with your feet planted and just bring both knees over towards the left, or lift your feet up again. And again, engage your core, bring both knees over to the left with your right leg stacked on top of the left one. And the arms can still be stretched out with palms up. Nice heart opener here. Opening to the warmth of the sun. Take another breath. And then we'll make our way back to center, and you can do it with your feet grounded or lift them up and come up through center, and then take our twist to the opposite side. So both knees falling down towards the right, left leg stacked right on top of the right one, and we stay with open arms, thinking about letting our left shoulder blade melt down to the mat. Start to make your way back through center. We'll bring our feet down. We're keeping the knees bent. And we'll come into a figure four stretch. So bring your right ankle to cross over the left leg and open out your right knee. We'll flex at that right ankle and stay there. Or opt to lift the left leg and either interlace your fingers behind your left thigh, or even use a strap in between to help with that lift. Or there's always the option, it's kind of an in-between option, of putting your foot on, your left foot on a block to bring you a little closer to your chest without the full lift. So lots of options here. Just take a few breaths in your version of sleeping pigeon or figure four. And if you lifted up the left foot, we'll let that plant down again, and then raise your right heel straight up to the sky. So a little straight leg raise here, pressing up. Really press through your heel. You should feel all the muscles engage in that right leg. And then we'll slowly lower it down to the ground, taking your time. Once you've touched down, bring your foot back to meet up with the left one. And we'll just switch sides. So left ankle crosses over the right leg. Opening your left knee out, flexing at your ankle. And same options, lifting the foot, interlacing with hands or a strap, or that sort of in between, using a block under your right foot. If your right foot is lifted, bring it back down to earth and extend your left leg straight up, pressing through your heel. The breath here And then begin to slowly bring your left leg down, keeping your knees straight as you lower. All right, once you have landed, again, maybe bringing knees up to your chest for a little warm hug. You could come into happy baby by bringing your knees out wider, and again, either holding on behind the thighs or reaching maybe for the pinky toe side of each foot and drawing your knees down towards armpits or the shoulders. Rocking here, tailbone again down towards the earth, so we keep a nice long spine. Lower your feet down and stretch out long. Arms lifted up overhead. A nice luxurious stretch. We'll walk our feet over to the lower left corner of the mat and bring our arms to the upper left corner. So come into a little crescent moon shape. Nice C curve, opening the right side body, possibly taking your right ankle over the left or giving your right wrist a little tug if you want to go a little bit more into that side bend. You can start to make your way back towards the center and then walk over to the top and bottom right corners with your hands and feet. And just go as deeply as it feels comfortable, breathing into that space. When you're ready, come back to the center and we can begin to set up for Shavasana, our final rest in our warm place. So maybe that means adding a few layers if you found that you cooled off with this slower, gentler movements that we end with. So trying to keep warm, keep that warm mindset in our heart, in our bodies, and just relax for a few minutes there. Take a full deep breath in through the nose and let it go. Start to bring movement and warmth back into the body with little stretches, little moves, whatever feels comfortable. Taking your time, we'll make our way onto one side or the other. So bring love wherever you go. Shine light wherever it's dark. Leave blessings, maybe I'll add, and warmth and compassion wherever you've been. And be kind wherever you are. We'll make our way up to seated. Coming together with our hands at heart center. Maybe even pausing here with your eyes closed or your gaze down. Just noticing that warmth as you press against your heart space. The warmth between your palms. Hopefully the warmth in your mind from our little journey. And then we'll reach up to that sunlight above us and come back to heart center. The light and warmth in me truly sees and feels the light and warmth in each of you. Let's bow to that light and warmth in all of us and seal our practice. Namaste.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.